gone 7:15. Let's have a look at the headlines. An opinion poll commissioned by us on Daybreak shows Britain is split almost 50-50 over the teachers' strike action. It's going to close thousands of schools tomorrow.
And the Green Parliament is due to vote on a new austerity package today as the country continues to be rocked by violent demonstrations. A police dog handler could face prosecution after the deaths of 2 dogs left in his private car. Sergeant Ian Craven, an experienced handler, had appeared in numerous television programmes showcasing the work of police dogs. 2 animals, a working Belgian Malinois and a German Shepherd puppy, were rescued from the unventilated car at the Metropolitan Police Dogs Training Centre in Kent on Sunday, but later died.
It's believed Sergeant Craven had gone to a meeting elsewhere and called colleagues to alert them when he realised the animals were still in the car. But should he be prosecuted now? Beverley Cuddy is here, editor of Dogs Today, along with Tony Woodley from the RSPCA. Kind of taking the emotion out of it, which is difficult, do you think he should face prosecution?
I think everybody that I've spoken to over Twitter and Facebook in the last 48 hours think at the very least prosecution. Some of them want the death penalty brought back. It really is that extreme the way people are feeling about this. I think it's very serious. It needs a full investigation, and it needs to be not just one person. It's pointless getting us too excited about one person's actions. We've got to learn something from this. We've got to bring something positive that means it doesn't happen again.
Is there something wrong with the training of dog handlers in the police, Tony, that somebody who's experienced could have made this kind of error, at the very least?
It obviously appears to be a very, very tragic error indeed. The training, really, I think this is more about a person and how people look after their dogs. We expect very high standards of police officers and very high standards of training centres, but you don't need to be a police officer or someone involved in dog training to know what's right and what's wrong for your dog, and leaving it in a car for whatever period of time, however short, on a warm day is simply not acceptable.
I suppose that you could argue that it was very, very early in the morning when they left there, and obviously this is not in any way an excuse, but I think it's worth clearing up the rules of dogs in cars, because there might be people that think 5 minutes at 5 in the morning when it's quite cool is fine. You know, what is the guideline?
There should be zero tolerance on a hot
So
day.
never ever.
I always thought, I'm not a dog owner, but I thought if you left the window open 3 inches, that doesn't help.
That's the problem. People think, oh, I put the window down, it's okay. No, the temperature inside a car is turn the air conditioning off yourself. Sit there, put a balaclava on, mimic a dog that cannot sweat. You'll find how hot that gets. In 10 minutes, someone recorded a temperature of 50 degrees the other day. I mean, it's an oven. Over Twitter and Facebook, the passion that this case has evoked, dogs die in cars because they cook. They cook from the inside, and it's a dreadful way to die.
But there's something we need to clear up. There's a lot of stuff in the papers that the police officer concerned had form in this. It happened to him before or something. What can you tell us about that?
Well, as you know, the RSPCA is doing that full investigation independently. We've been asked by the Met Police, so I am very limited in what I can say. Obviously, there are comments in the press about a previous incident, and that's something which obviously will need to be taken into account at some stage if that's the case.
Okay, thank you. Thanks very much indeed for your time this morning. Plenty of excited tennis fans at Wimbledon. Camped through the night for a chance of seeing our Andy play his semi-final match today. Dan's there.